Hello then, welcome to Jeddah for the 3.836 mile circuit, 6 kilometers, 27 turns, and it is 77 degrees here at the nighttime of Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. It's a clear race today, no rain expected. We have 27 turns, as I said before. The overtaking zones being turn 27, turn 1, 2, and turn 13. We also have 3 DRS zones, 3 detection zones, and very, very long straights here along with the twisty turns. Here we go for the starting grid. We have the defending world champion Max Verstappen on the Red Bull team with Charles Leclerc lining up in P2. And the rest of the grid we have Sainz, Perez, George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Esteban Ocon, Gasly, Kevin Magnussen, rounding out the top 10. Then we have Yuki Tsunoda, Valtteri Bottas, Lando Norris, Mick Schumacher. Then we have Daniel Ricciardo, the Honey Badger, and Sebastian Vettel, the 4-time champ, Lance Stroll, Alex Albon making his return, Zhou Guanyu, and Nicholas Latifi with no time. Here we go for the race. Here we go then. And we'll see you guys down there. Here we go, Sergio Perez getting very, very greedy with these 2 Ferraris.
Yeah, that slipstream is going to be not really strong. Slipstream in DRS not super strong. Oh!
Charles Leclerc going for a move around the outside on his teammate for the second time.
He's got it. I think he's got it. No.
And he's got it this time as he gets ahead of his teammate. But he still is around the outside. Here he goes.
Into turn 3. Still side by side. Going through turn 4, but it looks like Leclerc has
and Sergio Perez gets slammed on the brakes because, I mean, there was just Carlos Sainz that was getting very, very close to him.
You just gotta be patient, sit back, let them battle it out, let them waste their tires, and Perez can just kind of wait for that opportunity and pounce once the Ferraris have lost their pace.
And here we go, DRS zone for Sergio Perez on Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz. He does not go for a move. Oh, he does go for a move as Carlos Sainz goes wide.
Yeah, locked up.
And so does George Russell. George Russell on Hamilton. And Charles Leclerc built a very nice gap on the exit.
Yeah, Sainz definitely locked up heading into that final corner.
But Sainz here going for him the move around the outside, squeezing Perez as they still side by side. And so are the Mercedes back there as they've been battling all season. And Lewis Hamilton and George Russell with the outside. And he gets blocked off by Hamilton. Clean defense from him. As that's Zhou Guanyu and Alex Albon battling it out. We'll see what happened there. They went side by side. Zhou Guanyu with the overtake. And here we go, Sergio Perez for a move here on Carlos Sainz, as Carlos Sainz got the move done back at him last lap. As Sergio Perez going for the outside here on lap 6. As now at the inside, and he will get the job done. No, he won't. Now he does. That is the maneuver there for Sergio Perez on Carlos Sainz. Here we go, this massive DRS train with Daniel Ricciardo leading it. As, Nicholas Latifi goes wide and gets overtaken by almost 3 cars there. And that's Alex Albon and Nicholas Latifi now going side by side, the 2 teammates, both with DRSs. That's Guanyu Zhou going now for a maneuver on Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, Albon with probably the better car, the primary cars, he's probably gonna have an advantage over Latifi.
Latifi gets ahead though, as the Honey Badger and Zhou Guanyu go side by side, but Zhou Guanyu gets above there on Daniel Ricciardo. You can see, massive
Oh, the Australian
maneuver.
goes way wide.
And Nicholas Latifi with the job done there. And now here comes Nicholas Latifi trying to go for the outside around Zhou Guanyu as he gets the job done, but
he's
he goes
gonna go
a
way
bit
wide,
And he's gonna try and go for the switchback. Here we go. Go side by side now with Zhou Guanyu. And massive wreck. As Nicholas Latifi is forced to cut the chicane with no front wing now, and that is a safety car.
Yeah, that is definitely some very aggressive driving from Latifi. I'd say it's a little bit irrational how aggressive he was there against Guan Yu Zhou.
Let's go on board here with Nicholas Latifi. As he saw the gap, and Zhou Guanyu just turned left right into him. And that cost his front wing.
Yeah, I think Guan Yu didn't know where Latifi was relative to his car. And that's kind of what happened. I think that'd be a racing incident. I don't think any penalty is really necessary. Safety car definitely might be needed, but I don't see any penalties coming for either driver. Just a racing incident, but definitely note that.
And that is Sergio Perez now in the pits for the hard compound tire. Good stop.
So I think he's going to go all the way. I think the hard tires are going to last long enough. I think he's probably planning on going all the way with this. This could be a good strategy. We'll have to see what happens.
As he just barely jumps Magnussen as well. Nicholas Latifi. Nicholas Latifi now going into the pits. Oh, and he hits the little barrier there. And the pits he goes for a new front wing and new tires. And no, they didn't give him the new front wing. That's a pit stop error for Nicholas Latifi. And he's gonna have to make another pit stop under this safety car. And that is Max Verstappen also into the pit lane. See if it's a good stop by Red Bull for the hard compound tires. It was an unscheduled pit stop, as you can see, and a slow stop for him as he's going to be jumped by both Ferraris. Coming out of the pits, will he jump George Russell? Yes, he will. Here we go, safety car is now in as it's green flag running on lap 16 out of 50 in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. As everybody single file, but that's Kevin Magnussen going for a dive bomb on multiple drivers. As he gets ahead of Sergio Perez and Fernando Alonso, and it is now P6. As the two Ferraris going side by side for the lead, and it's going to be Charles Leclerc with the lead on him, as that is George Russell having to back out of a move on Max Verstappen. And both of the Alfa Romeos not having the greatest race today. And with the safety car ending, here's Valtteri Bottas is on board as he loses his front wing. Is the massive lockup there from Pierre Gasly as well. And Valtteri Bottas will definitely have to pit this lap for a new front wing. And that is Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso now going side by side, heading now into turn 1. Lewis Hamilton late on the brakes as he almost, I believe he did make contact there with Charles Leclerc. And now that's Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton going side by side.
The two former teammates of 2007 McLaren teammates. Two of the sport's veterans going at it, but it looks like Hamilton has definitely kind of lost Alonso for now.
And he has to back off. That's Sergio Perez getting a bit greedy with the Mercedes, possibly about to make a maneuver, and that is Kevin Magnussen and Pierre Gasly going side by side. Kevin Magnussen forcing Pierre Gasly the long way around. And look at those Williams, P11 and P12 for both Williams drivers. As we might see another collision, but no, Nicholas Latifi thinks twice. Remembers what happened with, I believe that was Zhou Guanyu. Seems like Nicholas Latifi is actually defending against Esteban Ocon, trying to get his teammate into the points. He's trying to slow down Esteban Ocon on those soft compound tires. And then it's Charles Leclerc into the pits for a set of medium tires to go to the end of the Grand Prix. See if it's a good stop for Ferrari. It's a very slow stop. It took around 3 seconds there for the Ferrari pit crew. Very bad stop there, but it looks like Esteban Ocon and Nicholas Latifi making moves on each other as Nicholas Latifi goes defensive, gets a little bit of wheel spin as well, and will get ahead and stay ahead of Esteban Ocon. And there goes Esteban Ocon down into turn 1 on Nicholas Latifi. Nicholas Latifi forcing him the long way around in turn 1, but in turn 2, Esteban Ocon at the inside. There goes Max Verstappen for an overtake around the outside of Esteban Ocon as he gets the job done easy peasy for him on those fresh softs in that Red Bull. The defending world champion in the lead of this Grand Prix. Or in P8 of this Grand Prix, that's my fault there. And that is still Nicholas Latifi defending for his teammate as he forces Max Verstappen the long way around, but Max Verstappen will get ahead, and Nicholas Latifi just tucks behind him. As both Williams now into the points, very good day for them. That's Nicholas Latifi and Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc getting the DRS as he's flying down that straightaway. He goes down the inside on Nicholas Latifi.
Well, it doesn't look like Latifi stands much of a chance here against the Ferraris. They're both gonna box here on lap 23.
Seems like they're going to be going in for the medium compound tires. Charles Leclerc's already boxed, so I wonder why he's boxing. There's no contact. That's Nicholas Latifi into the pits, and it's a slow stop. And it's going to be P12 there for Nicholas Latifi as he's just running down the grid. And he's going to be going possibly to the end on these medium compound tires, but that... Oh, and he goes wide, almost hits the wall out of the pit exit. And that's Sebastian Vettel putting defensive tactics on Esteban Ocon. Oh no. Here we go, that is Nicholas Latifi meeting once again with Zhou Guanyu, but this time for points, and he gets the job done there on Zhou Guanyu. Zhou Guanyu now with the DRS. Let's see what happens here. He's absolutely flying as he goes around the outside there. Oh, and a massive lockup as he tries to rejoin the track and hits the rear right tire of Nicholas Latifi. And that is the Mercedes and Fernando Alonso going side by side for P5 in this Grand Prix. As Fernando Alonso pulls out the overtake. Now, here we go, Lewis Hamilton now on Fernando Alonso. Lewis Hamilton with DRS as he's going to pull out to the outside here on Fernando Alonso, and I believe that's Max Verstappen into the pits as well. And Lewis Hamilton seems like he's going to get the job done, but it's Fernando Alonso still there. He's going to get the inside from the next corner, almost make contact, I believe they did. That's Lewis Hamilton with P4. And that's Max Verstappen going around the outside on Yuki Tsunoda, gets the job done for P7. But Yuki Tsunoda with the DRS on Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen going to have to go defensive as he squeezes Yuki Tsunoda heading down into turn 1. It's going to be Max Verstappen with the upper hand. But Yuki Tsunoda's still there. No, he's not. That is Max Verstappen with P7. The battle now for the lead. It's Carlos Sainz versus Sergio Perez, both being the second driver on their top tier teams. It's Carlos Sainz with the DRS. He's gonna pull out around the outside. Medium tires versus hard tires. Who will win? Will be Carlos Sainz. No, it won't. Yes, it will. As Carlos Sainz gets the maneuver and job done for him. In P1. And it's Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen here on lap 34, the battle for P4. As Max Verstappen, the two old rivals from last year, and Max Verstappen with the DRS, and it should be very easy being in that Red Bull as Max Verstappen goes down the inside on Lewis Hamilton, but Lewis Hamilton goes for, oh, it seems like he went for a switch back there. Now he's gonna have DRS on Max Verstappen. Here we go, down into turn 1. Let's see what happens here. Lewis Hamilton pulling to the outside, but Max Verstappen blocks it off, but just barely. And that is going to be Max Verstappen promoted into P4 on lap 34 to 35. Here goes Valtteri Bottas on Fernando Alonso. Seems like he's gonna go for the outside. Very, very close to the wall he is. And it seems like he's gonna get the maneuver. And there's Nicholas Latifi getting very greedy, and he goes for the maneuver on Fernando Alonso on the outside now. And he's got the job done on Fernando Alonso. Lando Norris with the defense on Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso with the DRS. Fernando Alonso goes down the inside on Lando Norris as they touch. And it's going to be Lando Norris who gets demoted, and Fernando Alonso gets promoted up into P9.
Now watch Lando Norris is going to get, he's not going to give up. He's still in it. Even though Alonso has the DRS, Norris is still in this. Very skilled driver. He's definitely not going to give up on this. He's definitely still going to give Alonso a go here in a couple corners.
Max Verstappen reporting with engine failures.
Something broke. Okay, I don't know. Box if you can. Okay.
And that is Max Verstappen DNFing from the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And he is out on lap 40 out of 50. Charles Leclerc on Esteban Ocon. Here we go. DRS for Charles Leclerc on those hard compound tires. He's going to go down the inside on Esteban Ocon and gets the job done. Esteban Ocon can't do anything about that, but he does have DRS. Let's see what happens here. We don't know DRS as they tied into the DRS zone. So no DRS. And it's going to be Esteban Ocon who gets demoted and Charles Leclerc who gets promoted into P7. But it's not over yet as Esteban Ocon does have DRS, and that is Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris. And Esteban Ocon can't do anything about that Ferrari engine.
Something's broke.
And that is Valtteri Bottas out of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix with another engine failure in this race. He parks in the safe spot, and he's out of this Grand Prix on lap 46. And there's Sergio Perez getting awfully close to George Russell. He will get DRS soon as he's using a lot of overtake. He has around 80% left. And there's the lapped car letting him by, as that is George Russell pulling DRS off of that lapped car, but no DRS anymore as it's only going to be Sergio Perez with the advantage of the rear wing. Here he goes on George Russell. He can't do anything this time Heading into, oh, and it's George Russell goes wide. Possibly a lockup there, as Sergio Perez also gets the DRS off of him. So that is George Russell demoted out of P2. Still on the podium though is that Mercedes. And here we go, heading out onto the final lap of this Grand Prix, heading into the final corner. It's going to be George Russell with the DRS on Sergio Perez. Sergio Perez getting awfully close to his to the opponent's tire, as he's going to get no DRS. He's just going to have to use that Red Bull powertrain engine power. And you can't do anything about George Russell here on lap 50 unless there's a DRS zone that he can use. Everything has been thrown at Carlos Sainz today, but he is going to come home to win the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Wow. Vamos. Good job. We did it. Yes! We did it. Yes! Vamos! Bravo, Carlos. Una bellissima. Hamilton went for 30.5 there last lap, but you try your best. It was a mega race. Yeah, he can have that. I don't care. I don't care.
Wow, what a win then for Carlos Sainz and the Ferrari constructor team, as they must be very, very happy for that fantastic win with Sergio Perez P2 and George Russell P3.
Strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection.
They did very well there on those medium to compound tires that they stretched out for around 30 laps. Here he is walking up now to the podium. What a win then for him.
And they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
First win for Carlos Sainz, as he did phenomenal for the Spaniard. We'll see you guys next time. Here are the standings, by the way. Carlos Sainz with only 6 points ahead of Charles Leclerc. George Russell 12 points behind, Lewis Hamilton 16 points behind, and Max Verstappen 22 points behind. We have everybody in contention except for everybody below, I believe, 8th place. I'd say everybody else is in contention. Then we have Ferrari extending their lead, but Mercedes having a great weekend, only 22 points behind. Then we have Red Bull 41 points behind, Alpine's 54 points behind. AlphaTauri having a very good weekend, as they are 64 points behind. Alfa Romeo 68 points behind, Haas 69 points behind, and McLaren 71 points behind. Then we have Williams and Aston Martin both tied for 9th place, 74 points behind. I'll see you guys later then for the Australian Grand Prix. A beautiful track, and it will be a phenomenal race.